So the next step, the way that I'm going to do this is we're going to start putting the centers. But I'm going to, all these centers here. But I'm going to do it in kind of a layer by layer approach. I think I'm done with the corners. Now I tried to do it layer by layer where I do centers, corners, centers, corners. Honestly, it was getting kind of cumbersome that way. Things are being moved out. I just find it better to just kind of put the centers in now. So let's start off. Is there anyone that's already in? The technique is exactly like the curvy copter, and I welcome you to try that yourself, but let's go ahead and put the pink one in. So because this is jumbled, or had been jumbled, let's see if we can find, well, suffice to say, if I wanted to put one, say, into here, well, into here, where does the pink one have to go? Well, it has to be in this orbit, which means this is the edge that is right adjacent to this orbit, so I have to put a pink one over here, which I've got. So I can move this to here, because this edge acts as the go-between between those two areas. Keep thinking there's a lot of glare here. So this goes here and here, each one moving into the opposite end, and double turn, and bang. Okay. So that just puts it in the proper orbit. Move this here. Now this has to move out of the way from another plane, so I'm just going to move it out of the way here so that this can move in, and now I'm going to move this back. So kind of get used to batting things out of the way and putting things back in. But again, this is nothing new from the previous helicopter cube. Now the other pink one in here, so let's find another pink. Now hopefully this is going to be more clear as I'm doing it, but this is the orbit that it has to come from. This is the edge that's right next to it. So either a pink one's in an orbit or I have to put a pink one here. So I've got two things to choose from. Either it's in the orbit or it's just across from this edge over here. How about here? How about within this orbit? Can I get this across here? No, but I've got this already ready-made for me. So this goes up, this goes down. Double turn, bang, and bang. So now this is within the orbit that we're looking for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down. Before I move this up, I've got to move this edge out of the way, this corner out of the way, rather. So turn it. Now I can move this guy in here. Now I can replace this corner back here, and now I can move it up. So this is all in. So let's once again find orbits. Here, no. Here, no. How about here? Oh, this is, we already have one in here. Okay, that's probably what I moved in. So now to move this up to here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down to get it ready. I've got to move this corner out of the way first, so I'm going to move it out of the way. Move this in, so now we're good. Then move that corner that I took out back in. So now you can see we've got this whole thing here, slice it back up. All right, great fun. Keep going. Okay, once again, let's follow the road here. Here, is anything going to go into here? No, not yet. Here, no, here. Nope, here, here. Eventually I'm going to find something, and I just did. Because here, this is the edge that's in between it. So I got to move one into here, and this can do it. So bang. So I just need to move it into here. Eventually you're going to find it. Double turn. Bang. Bang. So now I just have to walk this up because I know it's where it needs to be. Okay. So now I'm going to move this down. Before I move this into where it's supposed to be here, move this corner out of the way. Move this in, bring the corner back, bring it up. So we're good here. All right, looking good. Blue. So this one we got lucky. So turn it in. Before I can move this in, I've got to bat this corner out of the way. So bat it out of the way. Move the corner in. I'm sorry, move the center in. Move this in. That's good. And move it up. All right, this blue. Do we have a blue here? Well, let's find the blue first. This one looks like it might have potential here. Here, no. Here, no. Here, well, there's a blue over here. Let's see what this does. Aha! Yeah, this can come into here. So I hope you're catching this. That's why I'm doing it multiple times. So these two are opposite this edge, which means I go up, across, double turn. So now I know this blue is where it's supposed to be. Bang. Move this in conjunction with this, so bring it down. I got to bat this corner out of the way. So turn, turn, turn. That's in, that's in. You can see that this is already in line, so that was merciful. Turn this here, bring it down to accept it. First, bat the corner out of the way, put the purple in, bring the corner back, turn it back. All right, quickly going through the next one. Now be cognizant of these guys here. There's a way of putting it back so it's not a horrible problem if it doesn't go in, but you know, just for the sake of ease. All right, here I got to find a purple one to go into this plane over here or over here, and I happen to have that right over here. So I can turn this purple here, and I did that because this is opposite this side on this edge, which means I can single jumble it from here to here, putting it in this plane. Hope you caught it that time if you didn't catch it before. Double turn, and shazam. So there that is. Move that down out of the way, bring this down, move the corner out of the way, move my center in, bring the corner back, bring this up. Okay, the white one. Area here, so now what I could do, nah, never mind. Thought I had a brilliant idea, but turns out not so much. Okay, same thing, bring this down, boom, corner gets moved out of the way, center gets moved in, corner gets moved back, edge is moved into place. And last, this white over here, yeah. Because as you can see with this within this orbit, I can jumble it from here, and this is in that plane. So turn, bang, bang, single, jumble. Okay? That lands this where it needs to be here. Bat it out of the way, move this down, bat the corner out of the way, move the center in, bring the corner back, move the edge in. Okay, so far so good. So basically what we have is we actually have the first layer, and I did the entire thing just to kind of get that out of position. My goal at this point is to get all the centers. The way that I'm going to get all the centers is I'm going to go in a layer by layer fashion. And I'm going to do that because once I lock it in, it makes it easier. So I'm going to walk through how I do that and various issues that might happen. So what are we going to start off with? Well, let's start putting all of these centers in. So purples. We'll just start matching purples where purples are supposed to go. This can go into here. So I'm just going to move it in. Now I may want to coordinate it with this bar over here, so that just means taking it out of the way, moving this up, moving this in, and moving it down. Alright, no problems. Now I could go after this one too, why not? Where's the other purple over here? So turn, turn. Let's just take it around the world here. Turn. Turn. To put it within this orbit, I'm going to have to put it here. If not here, then here. If not there, then here. If not here, then here. And the reason why I stopped here is because I want to see if I can jumble it in there. And the answer is yes. This is within this plane over here. So eventually you're going to get to it. Jumble it to move it in the proper plane. Double turn. These jumbling maneuvers are really not so difficult as you're doing it. Okay. So I know this is where it needs to be, so I'm just going to walk it back around. Okay. This is just to show that it's where it needs to be. So I'm going to turn, 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 and turn. Okay, so this is in, no problems. How about the blue? This is already in. So yeah, this can come into here. So get it out, turn it in, bring it down. This part's actually the fun part because you're, just placing things. Okay, can I move the blue in here? And I can after jumbling it. So this can move into here. So turn, turn, double turn, bang, bang. So now I know where it's supposed to be. I'll tell you that the main priority of this step is not so much to place them, which is always nice if you can, but just to make sure that we're no longer jumbled. So turn, turn, and turn, so this is in. Now what about this? How am I going to deal with this? Well, what you could do if you wanted to turn this around is, first off, you could try to move all of these guys out of the way and then double turn that. The only problem is that you're going to mess up these. So if you wanted to turn this and you didn't care about these, you can do a double jumble in order to turn that back in. So here's what I mean by that. Starting off with the right side up and the left front side down. Jumble it. That's your one jumble. Then do just the opposite. Left side up here, right side face down, and then double turn, move it back. The overall effect is it'll put these in and then you turn that. Do that if you don't care about these guys because it isn't going to flip that, but that's how you can flip that up. Okay, so center, center. What else we got? How about this? Let's do it one at a time. Let's do these guys first. So I want something that's going to go in this plane. Bang. Ah, right over here. Okay. So that was a little easier than I thought. Turn. No, okay, that edge isn't in. Turn. Turn and turn. So we're good here. Now this, anything that can come into here. Nope, not yet. Here. Nope. Or here. And this is where I'll stop to see if I can do an opposite one at the opposite side of this edge, which I can over here. So I'm just going to turn this here and jumble it here. Single jumble. Turn, turn, single jumble, and turn. So now I know this is in the right place. I'll just turn it in, and this is going to come into here. Nope, it's going to come into here, rather. So turn, turn, and turn. All right, this is actually in the right place as well. So how am I going to move this in here? I know it's in the right plane, and yet this is kind of blocking the way. Well, that's okay. If I can move this here, we'll just forget about this for a second. Move this in, and turn this in, and move it in. Now, why did I forget about it? I forgot about it because I can always use this side. This side isn't even solved yet. So I'm just going to move this in, and then I'm going to borrow this side. See? No harm done. That's why I like doing it layer by layer, because it gives me more options. Now at this point, you may want to start fixing these as well. Okay, we're cruising. So far, so good. How about pink? Let's hit the pink. This can roll into here, so we will make that happen. Turn, turn, and turn, so that's good. Let's see what's going to come into here. To here, to here. Okay. I can move that here so I can jumble it to here. So turn, turn. Hopefully you see the point. Double jumble, bang, bang. Now I know this is where it needs to be. So turn it in, move it in, turn it in. All right, so far so good. The other pink, actually, it's in the right plane, in the right orbit rather. So turn, turn, turn. Certainly is a workout for the fingers. Okay, last one on this side. White, white, white. And so this to here, this to here. Okay. So these two will flip here. Turn, turn, and turn, bang, bang. Okay. And turn. All right, so we got these two in en masse. Now our last white one, right over here. This is kind of wedged in between these guys here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here. Then I'm going to jumble it out so that it won't be a problem. Turn, turn, double turn, turn, turn. Take this out of the picture. I got to move this back and move it in. Okay. So that freed that up. Let's see where we're at here. To move it into this plane, it's got to come to here, or here, or here, or here. So can I move this up to here? And yes. Boom. See how easy that is? Just a couple of bits of positioning. This edge is between those two. Alright, so turn, turn. Turn it in, turn it in. Alright, if my calculations were correct, or positioning was correct, yep, this should be able to come into here. So turn, 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 and turn. Good, good, good. Now I have to get these centers over here. So what I'm going to do is, let's first start getting these guys in, because that might be a little easier to do. So this is actually in the right orbit. So we're going to, let's see how we're going to do this. We're going to move this like so. Move this in. And turn this. Now we want to get this back. So to do that, we'll turn it like this. Turn it like this. Turn it like this. And turn it like this. Okay, continuing our red. Now what I could do is, before, I'm not going to do the top part as of yet. Let's just move down here. I'm just going to do the 3 over here. Let's just do the 3 over here. This is the blue side here, so let's find a blue. So what blue can make it here? Well, orbit here, orbit here, orbit here. And now I don't have a blue one in this orbit, but I do have one that can jumble its way into it. I don't want to use this one, so I'm just going to move that out of the way and do my jumbling to get this to here. So turn, turn. Now you're going to find this is going to be moved, but it's going to be within the same orbit, so don't worry, we can put that one back in when the time is right. Okay, so this is where it needs to be, and at this point I can turn this back in and turn this down. It really doesn't matter as long as I know that this here is in the right orbit. Swing this over here. So I'm going to turn, turn, turn. Brought that in. Now I got to get this one back. So that's not difficult. Turn, 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 turn. So that brought that back. All right, in terms of the blue, let's find something that can go into this orbit here to here. No blues in here, but I can move this blue down to here, so bang. So I'm just going to switch these orbits here, single jumble, bang, zoom. Okay, so now this can go into here, move it out of the way, move this in, move it up. Actually, let's coordinate it with this blue bar while we're at it. Alright, not too shabby. Right, so now we're going to try to get the blue one over here. So let's find the one in this plane. Here to here. Any blues that can come into this plane? No. How about that can come into here? Yeah, this one over here. So turn this here, and this will be exchanged with this. Bang, bang. Double turn. And we're good. So now I just have to turn it into here. Kerplop. Now I'm looking for the kind of beige, so this is just across. I just don't want it to be this one. So let's turn it like this, as this one is expendable. Turn, turn, double turn, bang, bang. So turn this back here. So, well actually we'll keep that here for now because this needs to come into over here. So how am I going to do that? Well, why don't I go turn, turn, and turn. This one got knocked out, that's okay. Turn, turn. So it's pretty easy to get these guys back and turn. The only thing you may find yourself doing is shifting these, but a quick double jumble will get you right back what you need. Okay, so let's see what we got. These are in. All right, now I want to get these two. This is right within the orbit that I want, so let's once again move that out. Turn, turn, turn. All right, I might have to use one of these two. Only because I wasn't trying to go for that area anyway, and it just might be easier. So, how possible is that Very possible. There it is over here. So let's go ahead and do our quick double jumble from here to here. Turn, turn, double turn, and bring it back. Sorry I had to borrow from Peter to pay Paul, but there's a reason for it. So now I'm going to move this in, turn this up. So this is good. So now orange. Let's go ahead and get these 3 oranges over here. Let's see what we got. We'll start off with this. Within this orbit is here and here. So we actually got it here. So all I'm going to do is turn, turn, and turn. So that's it. This can come into here in this orbit. So let's move this out of the way. Turn it, move it in, turn it back. And notice we're not destroying anything that we did before. So that worked out well. How about here? Yeah, no, never mind. Which this is right in line. So a nice double jumble with that. As a matter of fact, if I can try to be clever and go like that and just move it right directly in there. It's so crazy, it just might work. And turn. Yeah, I like it. That worked. Okay, so these are in. Okay, so now we're going to try to get the gray one here. We got to find one here first. So what can we use to do that? Well, let's first define the orbit that we're going to try to put it in. Now we're having a little bit of an issue now because we're finding less and less things that we can use. So to put it in this orbit here, I've got to get a gray one here or here. So I've got to get grays over here. How about these guys or this? Can any of these be used? Well, no, none of these are in that kind of a plane. So if I wanted to get gray ones into any one of these two, let's start checking out some of the orbits here. So here to here maybe? Yeah, okay. So this is going to be a transitive orbital shakedown here. This is going to come to here so that I can bring it to here so that I can basically bring it within this orbit. Let me show you what I mean. So I want it here, which means I need it in this orbit here. To move it in this orbit here, I'm going to jumble it from here. To move it to here, I have to go within this orbit to here so that I can move it to here, and this is within that orbit. Hope that made sense, but let's actually apply it and see what happens. Turn, turn, single jumble, double turn, back, back. So that put the gray one here. Now that I've done that, I'm simply going to turn this here. Once I turn this here, this is going to move down to here. Well, not exactly to here, it's going to move to here when I turn it like this. So this will now come to here. Again, I know I'm going to start messing some of these centers up, but my first priority is to get things within the orbits that I want, and then I can start fixing things. So, single jumble, put that here, bang, bang, and now you can see I can turn this in. So that effectively put this in here. Now, I batted this out, but I can easily get that in. Turn, turn, and looky here. So we're good. So if you understand the concept, it makes sense, and it's really kind of fun to try to find these things. So now let's do the same thing over here. We have to get a silver one in here. Okay, so to get it here, let's see how we're going to do this to get a silver one here. Here's a orbit. Do I have a silver one here? No, and it's going to be hard to get one there. I got a silver here, here, and here. So how are we going to do this? Okay, so this is the orbit. I got to get a silver one here. So I'm going to focus on this orbit to try to get one into here. Well, let's do another one from this orbit to here, and yeah, I've got a silver one here. So this can go to here so that it can be in this orbit to go here to come up over here. Wow, pretty convoluted, huh? But not so much if you think about it. So let's go ahead and switch these orbits. Turn, turn. That's what's fun about this puzzle, is all the strategy and planning that goes in. It's pretty cool. Now I can keep it here, but actually my goal was to put this here, or else I'll never get this done. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over here so that this is here. and I want to put this over here so it can come to this orbit. Why don't I just turn this here so that this can receive the silver one and then just turn it right in. So turn, turn, throwing caution to the wind, bang, turn, turn. This receives it here. Now before I turn it in, why don't I move this blue one back? So bang, we're good. And then I can turn it back in and all is right with the world. What about this? Well, no worries. Turn this out, turn this in, turn this back, matches that up, and turn this in. All right, so doing okay. A red one I think got batted out, but again, as long as we're within the correct orbits, that's okay. Now I might have accidentally took one out of that orbit, which means I got to do this one again, which is fine. What I'm actually going to do is jumble this one to here. I probably accidentally jumbled that out. Turn, turn, turn. All right, so we're good. Now I just got to move this into here. So this moves here. This is within the correct orbit. So we're just going to move this up, turn this here, receive it here, turn it back. All right, hope that made sense. So basically my goal was to get these guys, which is what I did, and everything is fine. Now basically we're coordinating the centers of our last layer here. These two reds are already in. So now this blue is in. Let's go ahead and get the blue. And again, my priority is making sure things are in the right orbit. So to ensure that, this orbit is to here, this is to here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this can jumble into here and all is right with the world. So turn, turn. Luckily, this isn't the difficult layer. This one is pretty straightforward. If you've gotten this far, you're doing pretty well. Okay, so this is all fine over here. Do I want to fix this? Yeah, I could. Why not? Practice my double jumble. And we're good. Okay, so what else do we have? This is in, this is in. These are in here, but what about here? Let's go ahead and turn this up. This isn't in the right plane, so let's see how we're going to get it there. To here, to here. So I'm going to turn this here so that I can get it in the right plane. Now, if we're a little squeamish about knocking this out, that's okay. Just turn this over here so that we can shift these two. Now this will shift to here, which is good. This will shift to here. And that just might get us what we need to get everything in the right plane. Now bear in mind, these two switched, but they switched within the right orbit. When I say plane, I actually mean orbit. So there you have it. All right, so this should be in the right orbit, which it is. So it's just a matter of turning, turning, turning. So we're good. You want to get the red one back? Well, let's hold off on that. Let's make sure this is where it needs to be. Make sure that this can get over here. Make sure that this is in the right orbit. So let's see. These two will switch. So turn, turn, double turn, bang, bang. Now, things should be, even if they're not all in, they should be all within the right orbit. And if that's the case, we should be able to maybe finagle our way in. So let's go ahead and start solving centers as much as we can. All right, this is in here. Double turn, this is okay here. All right. So now this is an inevitable end situation. So how am I going to get this into here? As you can see, we don't have any wiggle room. We came up on a similar situation with a curvicopter, but here's what we need to do. What I actually need to do is I need to switch these two within the same orbit. So I'm not doing any orbital switching. So I could do a a jumbled maneuver in order to do that. But if I do that, if I do a jumbled maneuver, I'm going to be switching the orbits of these two. Switching the orbits of these two would be okay if they were the same color. So here's the technique that I would use. When coming across a situation like this for the last layer, once you've assured that everything is in the right orbit, go ahead and get the entire center of the green side over here. And I'll show you why in a second. So basically, throw caution to the wind and go ahead and solve for the green center. The light green center, or whatever your top center happens to be. All right, so that's there. Now what we're going to have to do is these two guys have to switch. So watch what we're going to do. We're going to switch it in the same plane, but we have to make sure that the colors here are the same, in this case green. So I'm going to turn this here, so I've got a green on this side. Then I'm going to turn this edge here, so I've got a green on this side. So these two greens are going to switch orbits, but who cares, they're both green. But these two are going to switch sides within the same orbit, and then everything will be fine. So I'm going to basically just do a single jumble twist here. So right goes up, left F goes down, double turn, bang, bang, and we're good. You put these in, you switch these two, so now it's just a matter of turning this back and turning this back. So basically we've got all these. What I'm going to do is flip these just for the sake of completeness. 1, 2, bang, bang, and now we are completely practiced with our double jumble maneuvers. 1, 2, bang, bang, double turn, and same thing here. So at the end of this, we basically have all of our centers. If we did this right, we not only have all of our centers, but I actually put in the edges over here.